C.L. Bryant is joining us this morning. He hosts the C.L. Bryant Show each weekday evening from 5:30 to 7:30 right here on Keel. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Robert and Aaron. How are you?
Excellent. I wanted to start because what better person to comment on the comments of one Professor Marc Lamont Hill, who is, and I'm saying he is a black man for a reason. He is a college professor, and he is on any number of left-leaning television talk shows. That being said, you know what he said. You take it away. You give the backstory, and by golly, I wanted you to comment on this.
Well, we can always depend on Dr. Hill, and he is legitimately a doctor. And to say something that is inflammatory. And when we talk about the remarks that he is making toward the president, within less than 36 hours, the president of the 30 hours, the president of the United States, and black people, as far as that is concerned, we don't see any healing in the racial divide coming anytime soon. And that is by design, especially when Dr. Hill supports the $100 million that George Soros has given to Black Lives Matter. And so we can't expect the turbulence. We can't expect this type of rhetoric to continue. And others, he has paved the way for them to come out and be exempt from any type of scrutiny as far as inflammatory racial comments are concerned toward the president.
Now, what Dr. Hill said was, and this was coming after President-elect Trump met with comedian Steve Harvey and Football Hall of Famer Jim Brown. He basically said that any black person who supports Trump or even meets with Trump, he referred to them as mediocre Negroes. Now, when you heard that, there's part of you had to be saying, hey, fellas, welcome to my world, because that's where I've been living for the last 20 years.
And those who have been in the closet for so long, as far as supporting the core values of most Americans, we thought finally had the carte blanche or a way to come out of that closet and be exposed to the light of American day again. I was thinking that the age of President Obama's administration was over as far as that type of fear was concerned. But Dr. Hill is, in fact, creating a situation where they want that fear to remain in the hearts of those who would, in fact, engage in conversation to heal the racial divide. But as I earlier stated, the racial divide in this country is by design, by social engineers like George Soros and organizations like Black Lives Matter and people like Dr. Lamont Hill.
What is the answer, CL?
The answer is the conversation. The answer is let's ask the hard questions and let's talk about them. But if, in fact, you stymie the conversation, and if you stymie any question that could be asked to lead to healing, then you won't get any answers. And that is the design itself. They don't want answers because they already have victims, and they want to keep the victim captive to a line of thought so that they can hold on to a voting block.
I had made the point a couple of times this week and last about the ability of the Democrat Party to intimidate people in Hollywood to separate themselves, to distance themselves from Trump, like Jennifer Holliday, like Nicole Kidman, the list goes on, because literally they're afraid that if they show any sympathy or backing of Trump, they'll never work again. They're intimidated. They're scared. Do you think the same kind of Democrat Party of leftist intimidation could work on, given Dr. Hill's remarks, on black folks across America who might be leaning toward conservative values?
They're hand in glove. Hollywood has been the greatest tool of progressive liberalism, Democrat Party, for the last at least 40 years. And when you look at how they did their very best to support Hillary Clinton and how they did, in fact, support President Obama, they are the greatest tool that the political machine in Washington has to keep that type of voting bloc intact and the type of fear-mongering going that has been going for at least 40 years in America, with black people in particular.
The Democrats, 40 of them or so, have decided they're not going to attend tomorrow. Disappointed? Would that be different if this was 4 years ago and 40 Republicans decided not to attend Mr. Obama's inauguration?
Aaron, you hit the nail right on the head. We did not treat President Obama in this very vicious fashion that President-elect Donald Trump is being treated. They cannot possibly say that we did not give President Obama at least a chance to get his first 100 days going. We became very inflamed once we saw the direction that the new President Obama was going. They're inflamed without seeing anything of the new Trump administration. That's the difference.